Hello stranger and welcome to my channel. My content philosophy is very simple. I look at gadgets from practical application standpoint. As I believe in 99% of the cases, you don't need the best of the best gadgets to perform the daily tasks. And if you enjoyed my content, please consider clicking thumbs up and subscribe buttons. This too helps the channel a lot. And if you feel extremely generous and want to buy me a cup of coffee, you can do so by clicking the super thanks button right under this video. Now let's proceed.
Quick ad time before we jump into reviews. Whatever unit you decide to buy, make sure to use the cashback services. These are free and provide you with a nearly instant rebate from most of the retailers. This is how I saved $2,000 in the past 2 years, and counting by using Rakuten. Available in US and Canada, and in many other places. If you never use the service, I have the referral link in the description. Please use it as it will give you a nice sign-up bonus. Practically free money. Make sure to check out that link.
What's up YouTube? Today I wanted to talk about my experience with $4,000 Razer laptop, its unboxing, and just in general discuss if it's worth paying $4,000 for a gaming laptop, at least today in 2022. Hi, my name is Roman and welcome to my channel. Nowadays a lot of laptop manufacturers make ridiculous specs on a lot of them. You get i9 processor on many laptops, you get 3080 Ti GPUs, and those are great components, don't get me wrong. But do they have a place to be in a laptop casing? By the end of this video, we will try to answer this question as well. And along the way, we will discuss my overall experience with Razer Blade 15 Advanced. Let me just give you a quick run on the specs before we start. This puppy over here comes with 3080 Ti GPU on board, and you can get it up to Intel's i9 processor, but I decided to go with i7 as it's cheaper and produces less heat. And heat is the arch nemesis of any gaming laptop or desktop today. It's worth mentioning that in 2022, Razer Blade comes with DDR5 and plenty of storage options to cover any budget. There are quite a few monitors to select as well, and you can get up to 4K monitor on this baby over here. However, I discovered that it's pretty hard to find the 4K or even QHD models, so I had to stick with 360 Hz display panel on this specific model.
And to be honest, after using QHD monitors for the past, I would say 6-7 years, the experience is not the same.
Even with that super fast refresh rate, it's pretty hard to come back to the HD monitors. If you're into unboxing and getting extra pleasure, unpackaging any goods, then, well, Razer most likely is not the best start for you. Simply because it comes in this boring corrugated box that doesn't really give you any premium feeling about your brand new laptop, even though I paid $4,000 for it. And yes, I get it, it's all about going green with Razer, they even say that on the box. But when you're paying $4,000 for a laptop, you expect a little bit more of premium touch to it. Well, for me, the unboxing experience altogether doesn't really matter that much. I care more about the content of the box rather than the box itself. But I know there are some of you there that would be disappointed with this kind of packaging. So off it goes. By the way, I just recently compared this laptop with 2022 Zephyrus M16 and 2021 Zephyrus G15, so if you care checking it out, the link to the video is up here. I want to start this video by looking at the overall design of the chassis, and I have to say, they're brilliant. You have to pay some respect to Razer for being able to stuff this little baby with 3080 Ti and massive processor options of up to i9. But with the size, there is downside of this chassis, because there is not so much airflow going on altogether around the chassis. Even if you open it, they ended up clocking down your GPU to 105 watts. If you ask me, it's a theft, because I would rather have the option to clock it to my own liking and never use it, instead of having Razer deciding on my behalf at what power range this GPU should be locked. And I know why they're doing that. It goes back to the very beginning of this video. The heat output of the powerful components inside can never be cooled enough with the airflow capacity of any modern laptop chassis. And imagine having an i9 and the 3080 Ti under the same lid. It will throttle on you after a couple of games of Fortnite. Fortnite. Hence, manufacturers like Razer have to think ahead to keep the overall impression of a powerful machine. Still, the design of this chassis is beautiful. It's very Mac-like design, so if you're ever looking for a Windows laptop that looks like Mac, this is it. It doesn't get better than this. Look at the keyboard. Yes, it's a very Mac-like keyboard. Every single key is slightly bigger than, for example, of what we have on Acer Zephyrus. This provides you with better overall typing experience. And every key is at the right spot where you need it. Per key RGB lighting is also awesome on this machine. It's pretty much limitless. And Razer Synapse, this is the software that helps you run your machine, provides you all the tools and tutorials all in one place, so it's very easy to navigate around. I personally prefer Razer Synapse because it's very easy to use, unlike Armoury Crate, for example, on Zephyrus laptops. Next, I want to quickly touch on battery. There is no official information anywhere on Razer's website in regards to Blade 15 and how long its battery is supposed to last. For example, on Blade 14, they say the battery can last you up to 11 hours. And I call it BS because just think about it, especially on the higher end spec models, these are power-hungry monsters. There's no way it's gonna last you 11 or even 8 hours. As per my testing, I see that if you're watching videos and just browsing, so it's gonna last you around 4 to 5 hours, depending on the screen brightness and all that additional tweaking. But if you're doing anything resource heavy, like gaming or video editing, well, then you'll be lucky to get 2 hours out of it, if you can get it. But you have to bear in mind, this is a gaming machine, high performance gaming machine. So discussing battery is kind of pointless because all it's made for is to be carried from one place to another, plugging into the outlet and continue using it as a desktop replacement. That's how I see it, at least. In terms of connectivity, there are plenty of ports, you will not be disappointed. There are 3 in total USB-A ports, 2 on one side, 1 on the other. It comes with a full-size SD card slot, which is a yay, of course HDMI, 1 USB-C port and headphone jack. What it's missing is the Ethernet port. And yes, you can get Ethernet on the additional dock and connect it to USB-C port, but it would be nice to have it on the chassis, especially when you paid $4,000 for it, right? Now let's go back to Mac's comparison. Mac laptops are pretty easy to open with one finger. Well, this is not the case with Razer. Yes, you can open it once you manage to hook up the lid, but the rubber bits here at the bottom, they have absolutely no grip. And because of that, they are very slippery and they slide through any surface without even me trying. Or you can use the nails, right, and hook it up like that. But I guarantee that after some time, you'll scratch this entire area right in the center of your monitor. And this is exactly where you have your camera, by the way. Speaking of the camera, it comes with full face recognition, so it's very easy to log in into your Windows account. And if you're hesitant of using that, then the only option you have is your password. It would be nice to have a fingerprint scanner anywhere on the surface of this laptop, taking into account there is plenty of space all the way around it. Since we looked at the bottom of this laptop, I want to mention a very important flaw of the aluminum case. And this is the fact that you can stop your cooling fans by applying just a little pressure on top of it. Here, listen for yourself. Hence, my personal advice is never carry this laptop in one hand like this while it's powered up, because you grab it exactly where the fan is. If you watched all the way till this point of this video, maybe this is a great time to hit the thumbs up and subscribe button below. These 2 buttons help the channel a lot. And if you feel extremely generous, then you may want to buy me a cup of coffee. You can do so by clicking the Super Thanks button right under this video. And we continue with Razer. My next stop is the sound of this laptop. It comes with built-in THX spatial audio system, and I have to say it sounds very flat, especially when you compare it to its rivals like Zephyrus M16 or G15. Have a listen for yourself, and I'll leave it up to you to decide. Gaming laptop. Since you watched till the end, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing. It helps channel a lot. Stay tuned for new videos coming out, and I'll see you in my next video. opinion is the best spec for a gaming laptop? Since you watched till the end, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing. It helps channel a lot. Stay tuned for new videos coming out, and I'll see you in my next video. Well, some of you may argue, who even cares about the speakers on a laptop? Well, I do. And there are many people who don't like plugging their ears with unnecessary headphones. The sound control on the THX app that comes with this laptop is very basic and limited as well. But again, if you don't care about the overall sound experience that much, then maybe you can just skip this entire section of the video. For those of you who are planning to travel with these laptops, let's take a look at AC adapters. Razer managed to get it on a thinner side and lighter as well. Razer outputs 230 watts of power. I also want to point out this cable for Razer. It's a beautiful braided cable. One downside of it, braided cables are usually not the best to be moved around because braiding tends to break apart. So therefore I'm not sure how long lasting it will be. They also got very proprietary connector to the laptop. That means if you lose your AC adapter, you'll need to call Razer to buy a new one. While Asus has a very generic looking connector. The exterior is somewhat a fingerprint magnet. Not a big deal for me, but I thought I would mention it. Now let's talk about cooling. This machine handles itself pretty well, taking into account how much heat it produces. I played 10 Fortnite games in a row on a maxed out settings, and this is what it sounds like when you're playing. Maybe this is why I wouldn't care about the THX audio altogether, because you would not be able to hear it. And you have to wear noise-canceling headphones when you're sitting in front of it and gaming. But regardless of the sound, it handles itself pretty well if you can ignore the cooling fan noise. And if you were born or living by airports, then maybe it's not even loud for you. Well, jokes aside, we are coming to the overall conclusion of the video, and I want to discuss a bit more about $4,000 price tag, over-the-roof specs, and if it's worth paying $4,000 for a fully loaded laptop. And in my opinion, no. To be honest, paying anything above $2,000 for a laptop is practically throwing your money away. And yes, I understand that many of us want to have the best of the best out there, but if you have $4,000 to spend, maybe spend it on a desktop rather than a laptop. And here's why. There are no chassis in the world, laptop chassis in the world, that would be able to handle the heat output of 3080 Ti, at least today in 2022. And if you combine it with i9 processor on board as well, oof, you're in for trouble. That's why my personal recommendation, if you are going for this beautiful chassis by Razer, either 14 series or 15 series, maybe stick to the 3060 Ti. And for a processor, go with i7. There's no need to have i9 in this thing, because again, you will not have enough airflow ever to cool it down, unless you live in a freezer, which I doubt. So my conclusion is very simple. This is a great chassis. It has a flaw with cooling fan, but that's avoidable. Other than that, it's a full aluminum chassis. It has great choice of monitors, if you can get one. Beautiful keyboard, beautiful touchpad, plenty of ports on each side, and they're all located well ergonomically. But you should never buy it with the 3080 Ti on board, because you won't be able to cool it down. And if you're up in the air between Blade 14 and Blade 15, my advice is go with the Blade 15. It's slightly bigger, but you get an option to upgrade your RAM. With Blade 14, it comes soldered. Well, since you watched till the end of the video, let me know in the comments below if I'm right or wrong about what I said. Should you ever spend more than $2,000 on a laptop? And if you had $4,000 to spend, what laptop would you buy? Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Again, these two buttons help the channel a lot. There's a super thanks button if you want to buy me a coffee. Make sure to use the Rakuten CashBack service next time you shop online. And on this note, I'll see you in my next video.